Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, this is basically the lecture 2 of HTML. In this video, we are gonna explore the style attribute mainly. In the first video, what we have discussed, I've created a very short, like I think 60 seconds or even less, short video on the revision of first video. So just to brush up those concepts, you can watch that and then come back to this so that we are prepared for the lecture 2. I hope you have done the worksheet, and if you have any doubts you can mention in the comment section. I'll reply to each one of you, and then let's just get started. So HTML styles, basically, as the name suggests, style. What's the purpose? Styling. So style attribute helps us to add style to the elements such as color, font, size, and many more. So for example, I can write I am red in a particular font. Then I can write I am, sorry for the disturbing cursive, but yeah, I am pink in a separate font. Then I can write I am in a different form. Then I can write a text bigger. I am, this is, so I can do all these things in my web page. Now we discussed that for to add beauty to a web page we use CSS, but before that, if you want to add inline beauty, like we want to add beauty along with the HTML document itself, so we can use the style attribute. Now how do we use it? So we discussed it using the color in the previous lecture. Basically we write the tag name, then we write so we discussed that any attribute is written like this, right? Here comes the value. Now here, if I'm kind of writing it like this only, but now what's the problem is that first I need to specify what I'm specifying. Basically, I cannot just write style is equal to red. What do you want red? Do you want the border to be red? Do you want the background to be red? What do you want red, right? We need to specify that. So for that, we are going to write the property, that is color in this case, and then the value, that was red. So color and then red, and then semicolon to write the next property, whatever, like font, etc. So property, this is a CSS property. This is a CSS value. What is CSS? We'll learn, of course. We are going to learn about it. Adds beauty, we have already discussed. Now, so till now we have discussed about color property, which basically changes the color of the text. Now there's another property which is background color. Now background color changes the background color as the name suggests. So for example, if I'm writing a paragraph whose background color, if I'm writing a heading, let's say, whose background color is blue, then this is kind of how it will come, and here will be my heading. Let's say the heading is in red. Heading. Right now we haven't added border, so the border won't be there, but pretty much a blue background with a red heading. So color is red, background color is blue. So this is another property which we can use. Then there's text color. Text color, as we discussed, color itself. Then there's font. So for font, we write font family. Instead of writing just font, we write font hyphen family. Any property which has two words is separated by hyphen. Font family and then colon, and then whatever family we want to use. For example, Arial or Times New Roman, whatever you want to use, you can use using this. Then there is text size. How can I change the size? For that, font size. Now you don't need to remember all these properties. Most of the properties are actually pretty basic. They are just the name itself, but you still don't need to remember them. With practice, you'll automatically learn them. And even if you don't, while creating web pages, you can always view these properties on the net. You can always cross check. So there's no need to recall all of this. Of course, for your university exam you might have to, but in general, if your focus is to learn coding, and etc. You don't need to recall all these properties. You can just check it anytime. You can verify it anytime. So moving on, then there's text align property. Font size is basically the text size. We can write it in percentage. Now this, what is this percent, is actually a part of CSS. Since this is a CSS value, we are going to discuss why 300% or 300% of what. We are going to discuss this in CSS, but for now let's just understand the property font size to specify the size of the font. Then we have text align. Text align, pretty much the name, alignment, center, left, right. So we can align. If we say text align center, it will align the text to the center. So we discussed about various properties like style attribute. In that we discussed about its value. So style, the value of style attribute has two components, property and then its value. This is a CSS property, this is a CSS value. We discussed about background color, we discussed about color, we discussed about font family, we discussed about font size, we discussed about text align. So this is pretty much everything we are gonna study about HTML styles. There's a lot of more styling we can do, lot of more. But for style attribute in HTML, we are going to discuss this much. But there's a lot more styling. We are going to discuss CSS. CSS is nothing. The entire process of CSS is styling. So we are going to discuss all these things in CSS in way detail. For now, this is it about the style attribute. Another thing is text formatting. What does text formatting means? Now, if I want to make my text, a part of my text, bigger and bolder, for the bigger, though we can change the font size, but what if I have to make it bold? What if I have to make it italic? Or what if I have to write something like 2 power 3 in subscript, in superscript? Or what if I have to write log e in subscript? How can I do these things? For this, we have the concept of text formatting. How do we use text formatting? There are a lot of text formatting we can use. Let's discuss all of these. B is used for bold text. B/B, whatever I write in between these will be bold. For example, if I'm writing paragraph, this is a, then bold, and then bold paragraph, bold tag, B tag, and then bold paragraph, and then /B, and then /P. Okay, so what if I write like this? Then the result will be this is or will display as a normal text, but bold paragraph will be displayed bold like this. So it will be bolded. Done. Then we have strong. Strong basically is similar to bold but still a little different. Same but different. So strong basically helps us to emphasize on the importance. When we use strong tag for a text, we are emphasizing that this is the important text. Okay, so strong, the result between strong and bold might not vary that much. Similarly, we have EM, which is for emphasized text. Then we have I, which is for italic. Like if I write I, hi, and then /I, then we'll get hi in italics. Then we have mark, which is basically used for marked text. We are going to discuss all of this in the question series. Then we have small, which is a smaller text compared to the rest of the text. Then we have del, which is deleted text. What does this mean? We'll come back to it. Then we have INS, which is inserted text. Then we have sub, which is subscript, and then we have sub, which is superscript. We have already discussed these two. Inserted text, for example, I've written a line, but later I add something to it. Then I can write inserted text before, so it will highlight it, saying that this is different. Okay. Now, EM, emphasized text, is actually very similar to italic. So strong is similar to bold. It returns the text bolded, whereas emphasized is similar to italic. Moving on, then we have small. Basically it will reduce the size of the text. Then we have mark. Now what does mark does? Mark will kind of highlight the text. For example, I have written a line here. It will highlight this, like we use highlighters to highlight the text. Mark is very similar to that. So basically it is highlighter for the web page. Then we have del. So del is similar to strike through. For example, I have to write like this, so I can write blue in strike through, del. Then we have insert. Insert will basically underline the text. So if I'm writing del, blue del, and then red I'm writing in between I and S tag, what will it do? Blue strike through and then red underline. This is what it's gonna return. Then sub we have already discussed. If I write paragraph and then paragraph and then sub e slash sub and then log, so it will give me e log. I can write the sub later and make it log e. And similarly for superscript, I can write paragraph, then 3 and then sup, then 2 and then slash sup and then slash p. So it will give me 3 to the power 2. If I write sup, like here first I write sup, then I write 3, it will give me 2 3. This is what it will return. So this is all about text formatting. We are gonna discuss the remaining in the next video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. So I'm gonna post a combined worksheet of lecture 2 and lecture 3, because in this worksheet we mainly discussed style and formatting. There are just 2 more topics that we are gonna discuss. After that, I'll post the worksheet for lecture 2 and 3 together, and it's gonna be of 15 questions maybe. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next video.